Welcome to you all in this online class. Dear student, today's topic is Anglo-Sikh Wars. We have studied in previous online class about the Anglo-Maratha Wars and Anglo-Mysore Wars. Today we are going to learn about Anglo-Sikh Wars. Actually, Anglo means British related to England, Anglo-Sikh Wars. By its name, it is clear that this war was fought between the British and the Sikh. You know, the follower of Sikh religion is known as Sikh community. The first Anglo-Sikh war was fought in 1845 and it continued till 46. It ended in 1846. So the period of first Anglo-Sikh war was 1845 to 46. Actually, what happened? During this period, the Sikh power grew very fast under the leadership of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was the most powerful and popular ruler of Punjab, especially in northwest region of Punjab, among the Sikh. Right? Sikh power rose very high in Punjab, especially in northwestern region of Punjab. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was the most important and powerful ruler of Sikh. During this period, British was existed there, but area was limited. The British Company wanted to extend their power in Punjab, like Bengal and Karnataka. But having seen the power of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the British could not try to extend their power. So the company made a treaty, written alliance with Maharaja Ranjit Singh so that their area could not be captured by or controlled by Maharaja Ranjit Singh. It is why the company signed a treaty, written compromise with Maharaja Ranjit Singh to check his growth towards the area. The company made the treaty and remained in peace for some years. His motto was, the motto of the British company behind the treaty was to check the power of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. But after his death, Sikh began to fight among themselves and it caused disunity among them, and these infightings made them very weak. This was a golden chance for the British. So British, just after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, wanted to expand its area. So the British attacked Punjab and fought against the United Force of Punjab. United Forces of Punjab means the ruler of Punjab had organized a very large army with the help of Sikh, Muslim, and other religion like Hindu. United Force means the force of the Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh. Hindu Muslim was along with the Sikh army. These united forces fought very bravely against the British, but ultimately Sikh power was defeated. And main reason behind this defeat was the cheating or deceiving of Prime Minister Lal Singh and Commander Tej Singh of Punjab. Both of them turned traitor. I mean, one who go against the interest of country. देशद्रोही जिसको बोलते हैं, वह व्यक्ति जो अपने देश के खिलाफ कदम कर काम उठाता है. द पर्सन हु goes against the interest and safety of our country. Traitor. Both of them turned against the interest of Punjab and met with the British. And it is why it became the main cause of the defeat of Punjab or Sikh power in the first battle of Anglo-Sikh. I mean, in the first Anglo-Sikh war. This was the main event. And what happened? Just after defeat, the Sikh was forced to sign a treaty of Jalandhar. I mean, he was forced to sign the Treaty of Lahore, in which Jalandhar or Jalandhar Doab was taken by the British, and Jammu Kashmir, which was in those days a part of Punjab, was given to Raja Gulab Singh Dogra. Right? So this was the end of Anglo-Sikh wars, and in this way you have learned the meaning of causes of Anglo-Sikh war and its result. In short, I repeat, Sikh power rose very high in the northwest region of Punjab under the leadership of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was very powerful ruler who could not be challenged by the British. British was scared to see the growing power of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, so they made a treaty with Maharaja to check their growth towards them. But just after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the Sikh leaders began to fight against each other and they lost their unity. It gave a golden chance to the British to expand their power area, and the company attacked Punjab. Punjab had a very brave army. It was the united force. United force means the force, in this army, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh were assimilated. But in spite of fighting bravely against the British, these united forces of Punjab got defeat because their commander and Prime Minister Lal Singh and Commander Tej Singh went against the interest of Punjab, of his own country, own kingdom, and favored the British. They played the role as a traitor, right? And in this way, Punjab was defeated in the first battle. Ultimately, Sikh was forced to sign the Treaty of Lahore, according to which Jalandhar Doab area was captured by the British, and Jammu and Kashmir was given to Raja Gulab Singh Dogra, who was with the British. Now, we are going to learn about the Second Anglo-Sikh War. In 1848 and 49, this war was fought. Actually, British wanted to get complete control over Punjab. As you know, after the first Anglo-Sikh war, in confined area, in limited area, there was the rule of the Sikh. But the British wanted to end the Sikh kingdom, and it is why it became the immediate cause of this war. I mean, British wanted to control, to get complete control over Punjab or Sikh kingdom. The main reason behind this was the exile of Lal Singh on the charge of conspiracy. Lal Singh was the traitor, was the cheater of their kingdom. So he was exiled, ousted from the country due to his conspiracy with the British. Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General in that period. Since Lal Singh has supported the British, it is why, having seen this pretension or excuse, Lord Dalhousie attacked Punjab and he defeated the Sikh army and made it a part of the British India in 1849. And this was the complete control over Sikh kingdom by the British. Later on, the British started to strengthen, consolidating their power by limiting the powers of the Indian princes and building a stronger army in India. So in this way, by the help of these two wars, by the help of the success in these two wars with the Sikh, the British got success in getting control over Punjab, and they started to extend their power in the rest part of India. So this is the end of war. Now in this way, all the important facts are highlighted of this chapter in the online class. Now we have the time to discuss some important question answer also. Dear student, one thing you must learn, you are very careful or you are very prompt toward the keywords given in your book. So it must be learned because these are very important and technical terms. The better understanding regarding this or regarding these words will help you to receive the information, knowledge given by me. Alliances means association, organization or union formed for mutual benefits. Mutual benefits means benefit, advantages for both each others between whom this alliance is signed. Annexation. Annexation means to take any country or territory in one's country. To annex, just like to conquer, taking over another country's territory by force. For example, Lord Dalhousie has annexed many kingdoms. Punjab was also annexed by the British. Sarkar, a former division of British India's Madras Presidency. Sarkars. Actually, it was a division area that was done in Madras Presidency or province by the British. Pargana. Pargana means a group of villages in India. And you have learned, even in class 7 also, 24 Pargana. This is nowadays a district in Bengal. Actually, here Pargana means group of villages. And presidency, I have already discussed. Presidency means the provinces of British India. The British divided his controlled area into 3 parts, and these were given the name provinces: Bengal province, Bombay and Madras province. Now, let me know about some important questions. Now, first of all, you see, here it is written Where is Fort William located? Where is Fort William located? The correct answer is Calcutta. Right? Very good. Archit Agrawal, you have given the answer. Or Soumya also. Calcutta. Now, this is already discussed in my videos, online class video. The Battle of Plassey was fought in the year of 1757. Very good answer. Very good. Which ruler was killed in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War? Tipu Sultan. Right? Very good. Krishraj and Soumya. Tipu Sultan and others also, Aditya Raj, so many. Thank you very much. Now, next is the first Governor General of British India was Warren Hastings. ठीक है, Warren Hastings. Next question. In which battle Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated by Robert Clive? Battle of Plassey. Very good. Battle of Plassey. Now, as you know, there are some fill in the blanks in our chapter. Actually, fill in the blanks is generally not asked. It is asked in the form of 1 mark question or 1 word question answer. So learn all these things in the same way. For example, if question comes, where was the capital of Karnataka? Your answer should be Arcot. Here in the fill in the blanks is what given? Dash was the capital of Karnataka. Right? So question can be asked, where was the capital of Karnataka? Arcot. Next, who built a small army unit at Presidency settlements? So answer is Robert Clive. Robert Clive. Very good. Now, next question can be asked. Name the governor of the French company who was called back in disgrace. He was Dupleix. He was the Dupleix. It is pronounced as Dupleix. Now, next. What is meant by Diwani? Diwani means right to collect land revenue. Diwani means right to collect land revenue. As you know, just after the Battle of Buxar, company got this right in Bengal, which means right to collect land revenue, land taxes, right, from the people of Bengal. Next is Second Anglo-Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Mangalore. Right? Treaty of Mangalore in 1784. Once this question was asked in the final examination, in which year the Treaty of Mangalore was signed? The answer will be 1784. So in this way, these are the answer. If any of you have matching table, I mean match the following. Actually, nowadays, this type of question is outdated. In spite of it, it has the importance because this type of question is turned into 1 mark or 1 word question answer. For example, first we have to do as per the given questions. Lord Wellesley, Governor General of India in 1798. Right? Next is Tiger of Mysore. In video I have already discussed Tipu Sultan. One picture was also pasted, shown there. Lord Dalhousie, great annexationist, who captured the country by force, who captured the territory by force. That is called annexationist. So now in this way, Lord Dalhousie was the great annexationist. Now, next, Anwar Uddin. Anwar Uddin was the Nawab of Carnatic. Now, you have already learnt while I was teaching you about the first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War. Now, next is Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim was the Nawab of Bengal. I think there is no any problem. Now next question is, I am discussing one. Actually, what happened? All these question answers you can do by the help of YouTube video, online class video that is uploaded on YouTube. But I am clearing your doubts. Here, first question is, which Portuguese explorer discovered the sea route to India? First, this answer is what? Yes, I will try my best now, but you should learn it. Vasco da Gama. 1 minute. Some of you are chatting. Send the question answer, my dear. I will try my best to send you, but you should prepare your answer. You should write your answer by your own, because sufficient facts are discussed in your online class video, right? Acha, you have no book, I know. I will try my best to send some question answers also. First, you listen. Okay. Portuguese was the first, Vasco da Gama was the first Portuguese explorer who discovered sea route to India. Now, later part of this question is what? Till part of this question is, how did this mark the beginning of European era in India? Actually, it started the European era in India because just after this exploration of sea route to India, many European traders began to come India for trade purpose. By the 16th century, Portuguese set up the colony in Goa. Later on, the British, the French and others also came in India for trade purpose and set up their colonies, and in course of time, they extended their power. So, their arrival marked the beginning of European era in India, right? If you will see the first page of this, okay, there it is written, but I will help you. Now, next is, why did the European Trading Company set up trade centers in coastal area? Are you looking at this second question? Why did the European Trading Company set up trade center in coastal area? In few words, you have to write. First, you will write, they set up their trade center in coastal area because it was easier to transport their trade materials through the sea route. It was convenient for them to load and unload on the seashore, coastal area. It is why they set up factories also there. Second, they set up their trading center in coastal area because it was easier for them to save their trading ports from other European countries by sending the army or troops easily through the sea route. ये दो रीजन बहुत काफी है. You can write more, but it is short question answer, so you should know in this way. Now, next is, explain the policy of divide and rule adopted by the British. Actually, except only one line, nothing is given in your book. It is the work of the teacher like me to explain this one in short. Actually, divide and rule policy was adopted by the British to rule over India. First. Second, they applied the divide and rule policy according to which they began to divide Indian unity among the Indian princes, rulers, and the people of society. Right? Third, they were handful person. They were few persons, but they have to rule over India. So they applied this technique to break their unity on the name of caste, creed, community by dividing them. And they began to rule. This was the divide and rule policy. Now, in this way, you have learned divide and rule policy was a policy principle of the British which was applied in India to divide Indian unity. This policy was applied by the British to create disunity among Indian princes and rulers as well as the people of society in the name of caste, creed, community, religion, etc. so that they can rule easily. And last one, this policy made the Indian princes a puppet, a ruler who rule not as per their own choice, but as per the instruction of the British. No. Next is describe the causes and the consequences of First Carnatic Wars. Very clearly it is described by me, explained by me in PPTs or YouTube video, online class video. You watch it and write point wise. I have written there and discuss also. Okay, 5 minutes left. So you can ask the question. I am going to unmute you all from pages also.